Welcome to Agentiver Academy podcast. Today, our topic is about how to make content more useful and engaging. Creating compelling content isn't just about sharing information, it's about engaging your audience and making the material practical and relatable. By refining your content with relatable examples, interactive elements, and actionable takeaways, you can transform passive content into an engaging experience. Here's a detailed guide on how to achieve that. 1. Add relatable examples, make it personal. To connect with your audience, include real-life, relatable examples. Instead of using abstract references, frame your points in everyday scenarios. For instance, rather than solely referencing Warren Buffett's Coca-Cola investment, explain how value investing can help someone planning for retirement. Imagine you're 35, planning for your retirement, and you start value investing in blue chip stocks. Over time, these stable investments grow, much like Buffett's, helping to secure your financial future. Use audience-centric examples, tailor examples to reflect what your audience might have experienced. Consider how they may have been affected by events like the pandemic or market volatility. During the pandemic, many people saw their portfolios drop overnight. But those who stayed calm and thought long-term likely saw a recovery as markets stabilized. This demonstrates the power of long-term thinking. By making the examples personal and relevant to your audience, you can bridge the gap between abstract concepts and real-life applications. Next, let's explore how to deepen this connection by directly engaging your audience with thought-provoking questions. To engage the audience with questions, ask reflective questions. Direct engagement through questions encourages your audience to think about their own experiences. Questions like, have you ever made an investment decision based on emotion? Or what's your strategy for dealing with market fluctuations? Invite them to reflect on personal habits, making the content more interactive and personalized. Challenge assumptions. Challenge your audience's existing knowledge with thought-provoking questions such as, did you know that the majority of actively managed funds don't beat the market? This type of question can shake up assumptions and spark curiosity, encouraging deeper engagement with the topic. By asking reflective and challenging questions, you shift your audience from passive listeners to active participants in their learning journey. But engaging your audience isn't just about asking questions. Stories can be equally powerful in capturing attention. 3. Use storytelling-woven narratives. Stories are memorable and help reinforce complex ideas. Consider telling a story about an investor who panicked during a market crash and sold their stocks, only to regret it later. In contrast, show how another investor held steady and profited when the market rebounded. This illustrates how emotional decisions can hurt investments, while patience and discipline pay off. Progression through stages. Take your audience on a journey by showing an investor's progression from a beginner driven by emotion to a seasoned investor mastering long-term strategies. As their portfolio grows, your audience will see that learning and discipline lead to financial success. By weaving in narratives and showing a progression, you make abstract ideas more tangible and relatable, helping your audience visualize their own growth. Stories are important, but so is making sure your audience understands the more complex concepts. Let's see how you can simplify these without losing depth. First, simplify complex concepts as analogies or metaphors. Simplifying technical ideas with relatable analogies can make a big difference. For example, compare diversification to a balanced diet. Just like eating a variety of foods gives your body the nutrients it needs. Diversifying your investments ensures your portfolio is well-balanced and protected from risk. Step-by-step breakdowns. When explaining strategies like value investing or compounding, break them down into digestible steps. For instance, you could walk your audience through how to identify undervalued stocks, analyze their long-term potential, and hold them for growth. This way, even complex ideas become practical and approachable for all levels of investors. Breaking concepts into manageable chunks ensures your audience can follow along without feeling overwhelmed. While clarity is key, the next step is to enhance that understanding visually, especially in a video format. 5. Visualize the information. Include visualization cues. In video content, pairing your narration with visual elements can significantly enhance engagement. For example, describe a pie chart that shows how diversification works, or illustrate the exponential growth of compounding interest. Picture a timeline where your initial investment grows exponentially through compounding interest. This not only clarifies the concept, but also keeps the audience visually engaged. Highlight stats or data, add credibility with quick statistics. For example, over 90% of actively managed funds fail to beat the market over a 10-year period. Stats like these capture attention and provide a solid foundation for your message. With visuals and data, you transform abstract concepts into something tangible, keeping your audience focused and informed. But providing knowledge alone isn't enough. Actionable steps make your content more useful, giving your audience something to do after engaging with your material. 6. Add actionable takeaways. Encourage immediate action. Each section should end with a practical takeaway. For example, after this video, review your portfolio to see if you're diversified enough, or take a moment to evaluate whether emotions have influenced your past investment decisions. This ensures your audience doesn't just learn, but takes real steps based on your content. Offer practical tools, suggest tools or resources that help your audience implement your advice. Whether it's a free stock analysis tool, a retirement calculator, or a portfolio tracking app, practical resources increase the value of your content by giving viewers the means to act immediately. By providing actionable takeaways, your content remains relevant long after your audience finishes watching or reading. Next, let's look at how to keep your tone conversational and approachable, ensuring your content remains accessible. 7. Use a conversational tone. Make it feel like a conversation. Speak as though you're having a one-on-one chat with your audience. For instance, say, "I get it, investing can be overwhelming, but stick with me, and I'll show you some strategies that will make this much easier." This tone helps build rapport and makes your content feel more relatable. Avoid jargon overload. Simplify technical language as much as possible. If you must use a financial term, immediately follow up with a clear, simple explanation. Diversification, or spreading your investments across different sectors, is key to reducing risk. This makes your content more accessible to a wider audience, including beginners. An approachable tone makes the content feel inclusive, inviting everyone to engage without feeling intimidated. But even the best content needs to give the audience a reason to act now rather than later. Let's create a sense of urgency next. 8. Create a sense of urgency. Emphasize timing. Convey the importance of acting now. For example, the earlier you start investing, the more time compounding has to work its magic. Even small contributions today can make a big difference over time. Urgency encourages action and motivates your audience to start immediately. Point to consequences. Highlight the risks of inaction. Failing to diversify your portfolio could lead to significant losses during a market downturn. By illustrating the potential consequences, you make the decision to act feel more pressing. Urgency pushes your audience to stop procrastinating and take the next step, ensuring that they leave with a sense of purpose. Finally, let's wrap things up with a reflective call to action to leave your audience with a lasting impact. 9. Close with a strong call to reflection. Instead of simply summarizing, ask your audience to reflect on their own approach. For instance, what's one thing you'll change about your investment strategy starting today? Encouraging reflection reinforces your message and helps your audience internalize the lessons. Final thoughts: make sure your content flows smoothly from one point to the next, building on each idea while keeping the energy high. By mixing logic and emotion, you can appeal to your audience's desire for both financial security and independence. Reinforce how these strategies can grow wealth, but also provide peace of mind and control over one's financial future. By using stories, practical examples, interactive questions, and actionable steps, your content will be more engaging, relatable, and directly useful to your audience.